Hello everyone, welcome back to the Drivers Room. We're in the Sunday League again today, Season 1, Round 2, Tier 1, and we're racing at Autodrome Lago Maggiore GP2 layout, and we are in the Alfa Romeo Group 3 cars. Pole position for today's race is Flapjack, finishing second last time out at Tsukuba in Round 1, sticking on pole today, looking to really get some more good points on the board and make a charge for another championship. Second place on the grid today is Sir Bottlejob. He finished 10th last week, obviously a lot more comfortable with today's combo, a really good qualifying performance. We'll see what he does from second. Qualifying in third today is Gary. Picked up an unfortunate DNF last time around, so we're definitely looking to get some good points on the board today and kick off his campaign. Qualifying fourth today is Cartman. Solid top 5 finish last week for Cartman and good qualifying performance today. Be looking to push for a podium, I'm sure. Fifth place on the grid today is Q8 Motorsport. He was the winner of the opening round in Tsukuba last week, and again, good qualifying performance today. Be looking to put some more good points on the board. Qualifying in sixth today is Lionessi. He picked up a fourth place finish last week at Tsukuba. Again, just outside the top 5 in quali today. See what he can do from 6. Seventh on the grid today is Desla, 2022 Duracell debut for Des, one of our longest standing drivers with an immense 98 Tier 1s raced under his belt. See what he can do from 7th today. And qualifying in 8th place is myself, DJ Rice. Picked up a respectable 6th place finish last week in Tsukuba, so fully preparing for some tight midfield battles as the season goes on. 9th place on the grid today is MS2 Fast Few. After a solid recovery drive last week, back into 3rd place. Finds himself shuffled down the order a little bit for qualifying today. We'll see what he can do from 9th. 10th place on the grid today is Mr. Sean. Consistent drive from Sean last week, but unluckily lost 2 positions on the final lap of the race and brought the car home in 8th place. Be looking for a better result today. We'll see what he can do from 10th. Qualifying 11th today is Mickey. Finished 9th last week after running really well. Unfortunately got caught out with a little bit excessive fuel wear and had to make a late pit stop and lost out a few places towards the end of the race. I've got a lot to do from 11th today, see how he gets on. 12th place today is Alex. Alex also missed the first round, so this will be his debut for 2022 in the Sunday League. Alex is our most experienced and arguably most successful Sunday League driver with 115 races under his belt and multiple championship wins. Got a lot to do, starting from 12th today. In 13th place today is GTO. Good pace from GTO last week, finishing in 7th place on his Tier 1 debut, showing that he's more than capable of mixing it with the Tier 1 boys. 14th on the grid today is Panthro. Tough time out last week for Panthro. Did finish at the back of the pack and couldn't quite make his 2-stop strategy work. Let's see if he can reclaim the form that brought him to Tier 1 in the first place. 15th on the grid today is John William Egan. Again, another driver who struggled a little bit last week, finishing 11th, just ahead of Panthro in front. Definitely more to see from this driver as the season goes on, I feel. 16th on the grid today is JC. Race to forget for JC last week, getting caught up in a lap 1, turn 1 incident. But yeah, starting at the back today, it's again like Panthro, see if he can reclaim some of that blistering form he had towards the end of the season last year. So that was the grid walk, and here we are about to get underway for round 2, Autodrome Lago Maggiore, and I will try to speak a little bit louder than the noise the cars are making, but we are off. There's a bit of tyre smoke, so it looks like a few drivers opting not to use traction control for the launch, and it looks like Flappy has bogged down a little bit off the start, and Bottlejob takes the lead of the race into turn 1 with Gary up into second. So Flapjack losing a couple of places at the start. Carbon holding on to 4th, Q8 holding on to 5th for now, as drivers getting a little bit bunched up behind. A few guys going 2 abreast, myself down to 9th. Looks like I've lost a couple of places. Alex has made a couple of places up already off the start. as we look just to settle into things like JC has made up a couple of places, just overtakes Panthro there. But as we come through this, that's, I think that's Q8 Motorsport just losing the car there, getting right in front of Lionessi, just avoids that. So Lionessi would have got slowed a little bit, yeah, falls right back down to 9th place. A few drivers benefiting from that, but we'll spare Q8's blushes and we won't replay that. Excuse me, but it has shuffled things up quite a bit in the middle order. As you see, Alex coming through now, just putting myself under pressure. Might well say he was looking for a cutback and has got a cutback done. There's a little bit of contact with Lionessi through that corner, and that may well be me losing 2 places, as I've also picked up a penalty somewhere. So just shedding that penalty and losing a place to Alex and Lionessi respectively. 7th, 8th, myself in 9th, GTO in 10th now, MS2 Fast Few 11th, as Mickey, who's that, Mickey and MS2 Fast Few? Sorry, Mickey and JC side by side as we come through the final 2 corners of the lap. Give it, oh, I think that's Mickey's hit the wall on the exit of the final corner. Yeah, there was another casualty on the opening lap. So Q8 Motorsport recovering now in 15th and Mickey recovering in 16th. Really unlucky there, guys. So, just have a quick run through again. Bottle Job doing a great job out in front, ahead of Gary in 2nd, Flappy still in 3rd, Cartman in 4th, Desler in 5th, as top 5 staying as is at the moment. Mr. Sean a little bit further behind that group, as you've got Alex just looking to stretch his legs a little bit in front of Nessie, but it looks like Nessie's had a really good exit through those S's. And oh, as he takes a little bit of a look into that corner, Alex not quite getting that corner right. He's lost a chunk of time there, and Nessie is right in his slipstream now. Excuse me. Myself just a little bit further behind that battle. GTO just doing enough to stay ahead of MS2 Fast Few. So GTO starting 13th, made up a few places. MS2 Fast Few I believe was 10th. MS2 Fast Few started 9th, so definitely a guy that's low, as it looks like he was shaping up a move there. Just as I flicked away, and there's someone off track as well. I think that was Panthro in the background. That might have been JC. Yes, this is just dropped off the graphic, but MS2 Fast Few making a move. GTO cuts back, has the inside. Can MS2 Fast Few just hang it round the outside and he'll have the inside of this left-hander coming up, which he gets, and he slots excuse me, slots himself in front. So up into 10th at the end of lap 2, if he can keep hold of that, as GTO looks to fight back. So Panthro ahead of this next group of cars behind. So, JC and Q8 Motorsport nearly side by side down the home straight, down the start finish straight. So JC doing enough to hold on to 13th for now. John William Egan 15th, yeah, Mickey recovering in 16th, and that is Gary in the lead of the race. Yeah, let's take a look back, see what happened there. So yeah, I think as we was watching the battle between MS2 Fast Few and GTO, Gary was putting Bottle Job under pressure in first place. You see Bottle Job going defensive. It's a horrible camera shot here as the cars just go over that hill, but we'll see where he gets this move done. Maybe similar to MS2 Fast Few in the second to last corner, takes the left hand side of the track and slots his car in nicely. Really tight left-hander, and yeah, gets ahead and takes the lead of the race at the end of lap 2. Gary Upton's first, Bottle Job in second place now, with Flapjack in third, Cartman in fourth, Desler in fifth still. Not much separating those drivers at all. Mr. Sean just a little bit further back behind the top 5, as we got Nessie in front of Alex. Not too sure when that's happened, but Nessie running in 7th now, with Alex in 8th, myself in 9th. Just looking like I'm taking a little bit of a look on Alex. I don't know if Alex is struggling a little bit today. I know he was a short notice addition to the grid, as we are pretty stacked at the moment with over 16 drivers. We're oversubscribed for every tier, so we'd rather have a grid of 16 than, I don't know, 3 grids of 10, say, and doing the 3rd tier. But this is myself taking a look at Alex. I think Alex is really struggling through that corner on the lead onto this straight, as he seems to have lost a bit of time on the exit, and I slot myself up into 8th place. Now it's Alex in 9th, and just needs to find a bit of consistency. As I say, I think he was a late addition, so probably didn't get too much practice in, but yeah, not his usual self at the moment. So MS2 Fast Few in 10th has got ahead of GTO and has pulled a little bit of a gap, and I'm not too sure who's off the track, if anyone. There's a lot of noise, a lot of dirt being kicked up, but I think we're okay, as JC nearly running off as he just slows the car down. Don't want to put 2 wheels on that outside grass through that corner, because you will do a Q8 motorsport and send it around. Although it wasn't that corner that he spun on earlier. Anyway, John William Egan up to 13th place now, so he is ahead of this group of cars. 13th, 14th, 15th running. Q8's in 16th again, so I think Q8 may well have had another incident somewhere, but again, we'll not go and search for that. But Mickey up to 13th now. Say Panthro looking like he's pulled a bit of a gap to these guys behind. Running well in 12th. As John William Egan just getting out of the slipstream there in a turn 1. JC running in 15th. Q8 in 16th. As we just hit the 6.5 minute mark. And Gary doing a good job. His bottle job still is close, but I think Gary's just managing that gap pretty well. Flapjack also. I think Flapjack may well be closing the gap up on these 2 up front, as the top 4 seems to be running a little bit closer together. Desna seems to have dropped back a little bit towards MS2 Fast For You. Lionessi and myself getting a lot closer to Lionessi now as well, and MS2 Fast For You also getting close to Alex, and Alex falling back through the grid at the moment, as he's got MS2 Fast Few approaching 159.9 from Alex on that last lap, so or nearly as he goes completely sideways and still sideways and recovers in 10th. As good as that looks, it's not the quickest way to go around the corner, and as he lights up the back tyres again in the next set. Yeah, just look at the tyre wear graphics there. MS2 Fast Few at the bottom left, and then we go to Alex. He has to be careful. He is going to start losing chunks of time. Still 7.5 minutes to go until the halfway point. Obviously, if you want to make this a one-stopper, but Alex definitely needs to look after those tyres a little bit more, as he seems to light them up again going into the next corner. GTO closing the gap up behind Panthro in 12th place. Mickey 13th. John in 14th. So we've got yellow flags ahead. Oh, it's Alex again. Alex has had an absolute nightmare today. I think he's planted it in the wall on the exit of the final corner, and this has allowed all this group of cars to overtake behind. So in 14th place now. Definitely a race to forget for Alex already. It's, JC in 15th, next man down the road, Q8 recovering in 16th. So 8.5 minutes of the race gone, and plenty of action throughout the field. Well, just looking at Gary's deltas there, very efficient German driving on laps 3 and 4, 157.371, identical lap times. And yeah, after last week's race, I think Gary is really trying to prove a point today, and he's definitely come out swinging and setting the pace out in front. Don't think Bottle Job can quite live with that consistency at the moment, as it does look like Flappy is starting to close the gap a little bit, and Bottle Job will have to start thinking about going defensive which will play into Gary's hands. There's a really nice line there through that corner from Flapjack. This could well be a move. As, I don't think his bottle going to go defensive. He doesn't. I think he's pretty much conceded this one. No, it's very hard to tell from that angle. It looks like the inside car has the corner. Or that may well have just been late brakes from Sir Bottle on the outside, as second to last corner again, dive up the left hand side. Flapjack makes the move stick this time, so up into second place for Flapjack. Bottle down to third as Bottle peels off into the pits on the 10-minute mark, so may well have been struggling with tyre wear, but I think that is most definitely committing to a two-stopper at this stage of the race. Be interesting to see how that pans out. So you've got Desla in fourth place now, and Mr. Sean in fifth. Slowly making ground on Desla up ahead. Not quite enough to put him under the pressure he'd like. Myself in sixth, so I've got ahead of Lionessi somewhere. Missed that one. So Lionessi in seventh. MS2 Fast U in eighth place. So, again, now he's in clean air. He's starting to bring those lap times down again. GTO running consistently in ninth, but Mickey's definitely made some moves. Obviously Bottle Job has pitted, but Mickey was running last after his early mistake. He's back up into 10th now, setting his personal best on that last lap, 1 minute 59 flat, gaining nearly a second and a half on GTO up ahead, so sure he'll be putting the pressure on GTO very soon. John William Egan in 11th place, just ahead of Bottle Jobs, comes out in 12th place, so excuse me, very quite a long pit stop time. Obviously since that Gran Turismo update, quite a while. Oh my goodness, okay, I was just about to waffle on about some nonsense, and we'll pretend we didn't see that. So Bottle Job facing the barrier at the moment, JC coming through, and just waiting for Panthro, who I think has pitted as well. Oh no, Panthro, I think Panthro might have had another incident somewhere. 2 minute 13 on that last lap, so lost a chunk of time somewhere, and even after that huge crash, Bottle Job excuse me, stays ahead. And John William Egan, has he had an incident somewhere? I'm sure he was running pretty well a bit further up a second ago. But yeah, a few drivers getting caught out in these little Alphas. Yeah, quite a difficult car to control. It's quite snappy. So once that tyre wear kicks in, that becomes all the more difficult. But Flapjack keeping Gary honest at the moment. So he got him in his sights. Cartman are not that far behind, but just starting to drift off the pace a little bit of the top two, as Desla still under pressure from Mr. Sean in fourth place, and just don't think he's close enough to make a move into this corner. But again, a good exit from here can set you up to get alongside and maybe past before the S's. I don't think he's close enough there. Probably just use this opportunity to maybe save some fuel, although Desla is doing a really good job on the fuel levels in fourth place. So holding on to fourth at the moment, Mr. Sean putting him under pressure. This is allowing myself to close the gap up in sixth place, dragging Lionessi along with me in seventh. MS2 Fast U in clean air, but running consistently in eighth for now. GTO still in ninth. Mickey absolutely on it behind, so yeah, nearly a second on that last lap gained from Mickey, as he is right on the bump up of GTO. It's GTO just getting a little bit loose, the rear tyres just starting to wear a little bit, and see if he's got a good exit here. He is close. Is he close enough? GTO doesn't go defensive, but I've got this wrong about 10 times already, and it looks like you're more than capable of braking a little bit later on the outside of that corner and retaining your place. And we have two guys in the pits. We've got Mr. Sean, who was closely following Desla. Oh, just smashed my mic there. Mr. Sean was behind Desla, has chosen to pit. Does promote a few drivers. Your MS2 Fast U pitting as well. It is close to the 15-minute mark. Maybe Gary especially just trying to avoid an undercut, and may well get the benefit of being out on fresh rubber now and maintaining the lead of the race once everyone else makes their stop. But he has come out right behind this battle between GTO and Mickey, and GTO is still doing enough to maintain track position. Mickey also a relatively new face to the Sunday League Tier 1 grid, and as these two are getting very, very racy now. Mickey goes up the inside, GTO goes for the cutback. They give each other enough room there. No contact, great driving from the pairs. They go side by side down the back straight, as GTO still just about done enough to maintain track position. I think he's really struggling with the tyres now. I see Mickey has slightly better tyre wear behind, and so really starting to find a bit of pace now. But GTO putting his car in all the right places and fending off the advancing Italian behind, but does get a little bit messy between these two again, and this has allowed Gary to close right up, and he doesn't need this. He needs, and saying that, GTO, he's a fellow German, doesn't get out of the way there, just completely runs wide through that corner, gifting Gary an opportunity to get through without losing too much time. I think he's done the same here with Mickey, and moves himself up to 6th place as we have everyone in front of Gary diving into the pits now. And we shall see how the race shapes up after the first round of pit stops. Obviously Bottle Job committing two stoppers, probably will be stopping again around the 20-minute mark, as he himself's having a bit of a battle there with GTO. So Bottle losing a little bit of time there, as the lap before that did go purple. So that early pit stop, if he does want to make this 2-stop work, he does need clean air, and he does need to bang in those purple sectors. But Gary does rejoin the race in first place. He reclaims the lead of the race as everyone else pits, should I say. And Mickey going again, a really long stint from Mickey in second. There's a reasonably good lap time at the moment, so why not? Flappy rejoins in third, and Bottle Job in 4th place. So like I say, Bottle does have to pit again. He could do with just trying to stick with Flappy now and gaining some of that benefit of the slipstream. But obviously we'll be losing a few places, as that is Cartman and Desler going at it, and Cartman just about maintaining his position there, and looks like Lionessi has also jumped myself in the pit stops as well. I do remember actually I was ahead of Nessie going into that first round of pits. I was about a second or two ahead, so Nessie doing a really good job on the fuel, manages to jump myself and reclaim what is now 7th place. Mr. Sean in 9th, and MS2 Fast Few in 10th. So MS2 Fast Few really has brought himself back into this. Was running in clean air by himself not too long ago, and obviously putting some good lap times, good clean pit stop, and finds himself with 7th place just down the road. So not much more than a couple of seconds separating 7th to 10th for now. As we've got Bottle Job going for another lap, as we've got Mickey jumping into the pits. Oh yeah, because that's his first pit stop. Really long first stint from Mickey. We see where he comes out back into things. It will be good, will be fast for the second half of this race. Has a nice short stint ahead of him, but he will have some ground to make up. So all these drivers coming through T1 now. It's a little bit of field spread between these guys. Q8 Motorsport not that far behind now either, so he's had a good recovery drive so far. Two major crashes for Q8 thus far, but does find himself in a top 10 position again. JC up into 12th and is out on fresh rubber, so JC looking good, and seems to have displaced GTO. So GTO also out on fresh rubber. All these guys have pitted now. Excuse me, from the back. So Gary out in the lead, just over 10 minutes of the race to go now. Flapjack in second place. Bottle Job in third, but really low on fuel now, so I'd imagine he'll be coming at the end of this stop. Carmen in fourth, a little bit of a gap to Desla, who might well be coming under pressure from Nessie very soon. There's quite a lot less fuel for Desla than, say, myself at the moment, so not too sure if he'll have to manage that or he can go flat out until the end. We shall see. 59.3 from Des last time, 57.5 from Lionesses, so yeah, Des has got to pick up the pace now, as there's a whole troop of cars behind in quite close proximity. And we do have Bottle Job pitting from what was third place. We'll see where he feeds back into things. Quite a long stop here. MS2 fast, few in 8th, so Bottle Job still in the pits, and Q8 also up into 9th, so looking like Bottle Job will be rejoining the race in 10th place, still in the pits now, as you've got Mickey coming round the last corner, and I think Bottle Job is just about to leave the pits now, so does rejoin the race in 10th. What are you doing, camera? Sorry about that, don't know what happened there. Bottle Job rejoining in 10th place, Mickey in 11th, and JC in 12th. Good lap times for JC and GTO. So GTO starting to put the pressure on. You see JC has responded with his personal best of the race, but GTO is still just that little bit quicker at this stage. John William Egan, good few seconds behind those two in front. Panthro a little bit further behind him also. Panthro having another race to forget this week. There's a couple of unforced errors I'm sure he'll be looking to put right as the season goes on. But Gary doing a stellar job out in front, going purple, taking the fastest lap on lap 9 as well. Really stamping his authority today, as he has opened up that gap to Flapjack in second place. Carbon Visor running well, as he just sets his personal best, 50, and that is Nessie and Desla side by side, and Nessie gets the move just about called out in time, as Nessie was closing the gap up on Desla, and has got the job done. Towards the end of lap 11, moves himself up into 4th place now. See if he can make any ground on Cartman up ahead, as we check the lap times as they all cross the line this time around. So 57.2 and a 56.8 from Lionessi with an overtake. So Cartman could find himself under a little bit of pressure as the race goes on, and this is Desla fighting straight back off the exit of turn 1. And Dole's looked like an awkward line there, a bit too much dirt on the tyres maybe, keeps it on the grey stuff, and just needs to position his car well through there, and he should remain in front through these S's. So Desla fighting straight back to reclaim 4th place, Nessie down to 5th, and this has allowed myself to get bumper to bumper with these guys now, so 4th, 5th and 6th running very close together, and you've got MS2 fast, Mr. Sean not far behind this group at all, so this could be Lionessi shaping up another move at the end of this straight. They're side by side, you don't want to be going side by side through the S's, someone's got to yield. I think Desla does, as he just slots himself back in, and yeah, just give myself in 6th, just giving these two enough space to do that, because all running well at the moment. Desla runs wide on the exit of the S's, could put himself under a bit of pressure coming into this next set of corners, but doing enough at the moment. Hold on to 5th, so Nessie open up a little bit of a gap there, as Desla just getting a little bit untidy, as you see Nessie just breaking the toe, and that's caused all sorts of movement down that straight, but again just can't get the job done on the inside of that corner. And Desla holds on to 5th place. Myself in 6th, Mr. Sean in 7th. As I say, if 3 guys in front carry on like this, Mr. Sean will be closing that gap down very quickly, as will MS2 Fast Few. Q8 Motorsport a little bit further behind those guys, and Yeah, running well in 9th at the moment. Bottle Job in 10th. Yeah, a bit of no man's land in 10th. I think he needed a little bit more clean air and just some obviously needed much better lap times to make the 2 stopper work. But running in 10th for the time being. Mickey in a solid 11th place. Don't think he's quick enough to catch Bottle Job, but I think he is quick enough to keep GTO behind, which was JC. So GTO back up into 12th place now. JC moved down to 13th. John William Egan in 14th. And Panthro in 15th. Just over 5 minutes of the race left to go. And I've got the move done on Desla somewhere. We missed that. We won't bother going back to have a look. But yeah, Desla losing out another place there. It's maybe the tyre wear, just tyre wear creeping in, just losing a little bit of lap time. As you see, my front's just wearing a little bit better at this stage of the race, but need to stay consistent to keep Desla behind. But yeah, Nessie running well in 4th. This has allowed Cartman a bit of breathing room. 57.6, 58.5 from Nessie on that last lap, so not the best, but so Desla runs wide there. As I say, Mr. Sean MS2 Fast Shoe aren't that far behind this little group of cars, but we'll come back to this fight in a moment. It's Gary crossing the line now. Start lap 14. 158 flat from Gary. 157.4 from Flapjack that last lap. So maybe just trying to put a bit of pressure on these last few laps. We got 4 minutes left. So these guys will probably have 3 laps with this one included. And looking like Cartman's just a little bit too far back to get that 3rd lap in. Just needs to maintain track position over these cars behind, but it looks like I'm closing the gap up to Nessie now. As yeah, it looks like Nessie's just struggling with the fronts a little bit. So it's just dropping off the pace, and yeah, just allowing 3rd place Cartman to disappear down the road a little bit. Nearly shaping up a move into the left-hander, taking the maximum amount of apex through that corner, and this could well be a move up into 4th place. As just move out now. I think that was an indicator from Lioness. He's basically saying he's not going to fight this one. Let's go and catch 3rd place. So Nessie's struggling a bit, and has allowed me through without too much of a fight to see if I can drag him down the road and catch Cartman in front. But me being me, absolutely fluff the next couple of corners and start holding. Just see a little bit of flash of lights, get on with it. I think he's trying to tell me, but yeah, really need to be consistent this part of the race, and it's just not working out for me. So just ahead of Nessie at the moment. Desla in 6, just holding on to 6. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to pressure 4th or 5th place now. Just needs to maintain the track position over Sean in 7th. Does have a good gap at the moment. There's only 1 lap left. Looks like most of these guys are just about to start their last lap. Not much going on. Oh, we've got a bit of movement down. Oh, JC's had I'll just see a flick of the graphic as JC has had an off somewhere. Finds himself 14th. John William Egan right at the back of the grid with front damage as well. What are these two up to? Sorry. Oh dear. Right. Pretend we didn't see that. But yeah, look just before that, it looked like John William Egan had front end damage, so may have had a crash, was running at the back. JC then had an off, and yeah, not a great end to the race for those two. Yeah, Gary doing the business out in front. Flapjack in 2nd. Got critical fuel now though, Flapjack. So 58.1 and 58.2. I don't think there's much he can do now. As Cartman does look like he is in a comfortable 3rd position, as I'm probably still faffing around holding Nessie up. But yeah, just not able yeah, 58.6 on that last lap, matching Cartman's time, but over a second and a half slower than what I should be doing at this stage of the race. But 30 seconds of the race left to go. I think Gary, most likely Flapjack, will get another lap in. But excuse me. We shall just watch this for a second as we come through the last set of corners. 10 seconds left to go, so yes, looking like the top two will get another lap in. I don't think Flapjack can actually complete another lap. Gary crosses the line first place. Looks like a race win for Gary. This could be our first checkered flag of the day. Cartman Visor taking the final podium spot. Well driven. Myself and Nessie crossing the line. Nessie just about nicking 4th place on the line. Myself in 5th. Desler in 6th, does enough to stay ahead of Mr. Sean in 7th, who does enough to stay ahead of MS2 Fast View. Q8 Motorsport, good recovery drive considering the incidents he had early on. Finishes the race in 9th place. So the bottle job brings it home for a second 10th place finish in a row. Mickey bringing it home in 11th. Again, early incidents from Mickey have really hampered his race result today. GTO bringing the car home in 12th. Yeah, good decent gap back to Panthro in 13th. So yeah, GTO in 12th place today. So not a special result, but been a difficult race for a lot of people today. Panthro again has had a few incidents today, but does claim a couple of scalps in John William Egan in 14th and JC in 15th. But back to the race leader, and he has absolutely, yeah, Flapjack completely out of fuel now in second place. And Gary looks like he's going to bring home the checker flag with not basically a parade lap for the final lap. But yeah, really stellar drive from Gary today. Just missing out on the podium, as you see on lap 9. Did pick up the fastest lap. I don't know why I'm stuttering. But yeah, not getting the clean sweep today, but does get the race win and fastest lap, and kicks off his campaign properly. So pretty sure, like most, the feeling is this season is going to be really, really tight, and we're going to have multiple race winners. And I, for one, I look forward to finishing around 10th place and watching it all unfold in front of me. But yeah, Gary, congratulations, takes the checkers flag. Duracell round 2 race winner. Flapjack crawling home in 2nd place out of fuel. But yeah, congratulations nevertheless. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next week.